All right. It is 12:31, so I'm trying to keep track of time for everybody in their busy schedule today. Thank you all so much for joining us for today's KCCE Lunch and Learn. It's been a few months since we've had one, so welcome back. We just finished with our KCC annual conference last week, so there's a few of you on here that were at conference. Hope you guys loved it and enjoyed it and got a lot from it. We are super excited to bring you all Randall, I call him Randy Franklin. He is with the Franklin Financial Group. There's some initials that go with his name that he will explain later, but I'll try to say them without messing them up. He is a CPA, PFS, CFP. He's a financial advisor. He is a financial advisor, and he has our program today. If you have questions for Randy during the presentation, we're going to do Q&A at the end. If you would be so kind as to put those in the chat box, and I'll be your voice at the end to ask questions of Randy. And to note, as always, this is being recorded. So if you want to see this again, or you want to share this information with colleagues or board members or volunteers, it will be available on our YouTube channel later on this afternoon. So without further ado, I will turn off my screen and I will turn it over to Randy. Randy, it's all you.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. And we got a video we're going to show first thing. Libby Spencer, who is our local chamber executive, she and I did a video last year, right when multiple employer aggregation plans became kind of a topic that we could get into. So it just about a minute and a half long. It kind of explains a little bit more, and we'll go into greater detail after this little short video.
Did you know for many Americans, a 401k plan at work is their main way to build retirement savings? A retirement plan can also encourage financial wellness and help boost loyalty among employees. In fact, a quality benefits package is one of the top 3 reasons employees stay with the company. Yet despite of these benefits, when business owners think about running a 401k plan, many see cost, administrative burden, and fiduciary or legal responsibilities as pain point. But it doesn't have to be that way. A multiple employer 401k program known as a MEAP can help.
A MEAP is a group 401k plan solution that the chamber can offer to its members to join, typically at a group rate, which is often lower than you might pay to run your own company 401k plan. A MEAP gathers many tasks involved in operating a retirement plan and hands them over to other professionals. That's a win, considering what it takes to sponsor or to manage your own 401k plan versus what you would experience after joining a MEAP program. Joining a MEAP 401k program could be the difference between spending time in meetings regarding your plan's administration or doing what's most profitable, and that's running your business. We can provide you additional information and guidance to allow you to make the best decision for your company and your employees. Let us show you how.
Thank you, Amy. So that was just a quick rundown on what a MEAP is. And when you hear that term, and I said MEAP stands for Multiple Employer Aggregation Plan. And so there's really 4 key service providers that are involved in carrying out the MEAP 401k plan. The first would be your sponsoring organization. And in your case, the Kentucky Chamber Executive Organization is the sponsoring organization for each of the local chamber executives. So they would fall under that plan. However, in your own local situation, that would allow you to offer it in Hopkins County, as we're doing, where we can carry that out to the members of the local chamber here. And each one of them, the Hopkins County Chamber, would be the sponsor for that. So you would have kind of a little bit of a trickle down effect on that, with the execs being members of the KCCE sponsoring organization plan, and then your local chamber being the sponsoring organization for your members and the employers in your local community. So that's one piece of it. They're the ones that would get it started. The record keeper would be Lincoln Retirement Plan Services. Lincoln has done a lot of these, and I've done several of them with Lincoln. I have talked to some other companies along the ways and have asked them if they were involved in this space. And Lincoln is the only one that I've found so far that is involved and very active in working with employers for the MEAP 401k plans. Then you have what's called a third-party administrator. That person is the person that's in charge of doing handling all the day-to-day organization activity for the plan. They're very, very specialized in what they do. They'd be the ones to prepare the tax preparation at the end of the year. They do a lot of calculations. They would be the ones to handle all the day-to-day activities, loans, distributions, new employees, those kind of things. Excuse me. And of course, I would be the advisor on the plan. I would be the person responsible for helping coordinate some of the things between the employers and the TPA. I would probably be your first line of defense that if you have a question, I would probably say, okay, I may not have the answer for it, but I can get it for you. And I'll direct it to the right person, whether it be through Lincoln or whether it be through the third-party administrator. And so that's kind of the role that I would play on those, and also kind of help your employees, help them with some of the opportunities and questions they may have on investment choices. So I know last week you guys had your annual meeting and we had prepared a flyer that I believe Amy had handed out to, or had made available to everyone. So we're going to put that on the screen again also, just so you can kind of see, jog your memory a little bit, say, oh, I did see that last week. So when we get off this call, you can go back and recapture it and kind of look at it. And Amy, that's page 2. If we can go back to the one page before it, please. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. So, and if you just kind of scroll down on that, it talks about what is a multiple employer aggregation program. And it really is why would you want to consider joining a MEAP? And the goal of this is to make the focus on it very easy for you as the employer or the sponsoring organization, to make it as easy for you as possible. As we said in the video earlier, you don't have time to spend on trying to run a 401k plan. And that's what there's other service providers, that's what they do for a living. And their job is to provide that service to you. So the MEAP is becoming a very popular opportunity. So as you look at that, it provides you some, hopefully some comfort in knowing that, hey, that's one thing I can take off my plate. It also provides you some protection, because there are things that the Department of Labor will be involved in. They're pretty stringent in how we go about preparing some of these plans and carrying those plans out. And so while your role as the plan fiduciary may still exist, many of those tasks are already transitioned to people that are involved in dealing with the MEAP. The employer's ongoing role is to oversee the various parties dedicated to the plan and to make sure that it operates as you want it to happen. So that's the main thing, is you're delegating that work out to other folks, myself included, to make sure that that's something that we're taking care of you on, and you don't have to worry about taking care of it. So the MEAP, one of the advantages of it is more cost competitive, and we're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes here. But the MEAP delivers more value and services, and potentially at a similar or less cost than you're already paying if you're in a plan already. If you're not, then you're going to you're going to be able to save some costs because of your participation in the MEAP. Let's go to the next page, please, Amy. So if you look under these, it says your responsibilities before joining a MEAP. Excuse me, I have a train track directly behind my office, and sometimes they're loud on the horn, sometimes they're not so bad. He chose to be loud today. So, but if you look at plan sponsor duties, there's 3 bullet points there. Plan investment fiduciary duties, there's 6 bullet points there. And then the operational plan administrator duties, there's 22 points there. And I'm sure most of your employers and yourself do not want to have to deal with all that stuff. So if you look to the right of this next page, you'll see that after you participate in the MEAP, your initial choices, you have 2 bullet points, and then your ongoing things, there's 3. So we're alleviating a lot of that hassle that it takes for you to have to administer a plan and to carry out a plan, and putting people in place that do that, that are professional in what they do, and removes that burden from you. So, okay, Amy, let's go to the back to the video, please, or back to our, thank you. That's what I meant. There you are. So let's talk about lower administrative costs, because the plan totals are aggregated in determining what some of those costs are. If you were to do a plan by yourself, having the same people involved in it that we just mentioned a while ago, the sponsoring organization, the record keeper, the TPA, and advisor. A MEAP is going to save you probably somewhere between 1 percentage point to 0.8 of a percentage point. That's because Lincoln is taking, or all three of the players, Lincoln, the third-party administrator, myself, are all reducing our fees. And just to be honest with you, we're going to make it up through aggregation. We're going to make it up through increases in the total amount of the plan. So, but there are some benefits. Again, roughly somewhere between 1 point to 0.8 of a point on that. As plan assets increase, the percent of savings will increase, because the way the Lincoln charges on theirs, the more dollars, the more participants, the less per participant and plan their fee becomes. So whereas mine and the TPAs are pretty much a flat fee, those would be what we want to look at. As Libby mentioned on the video, Libby's our local chamber exec here. I'm sure a lot of you know her. It provides an opportunity for the employees to save for their retirement and put back more than just in an IRA. In an IRA, you can put back $6,000 to $7,000 a year. In a 401k plan, you can put back between $19,500 and $26,000, depending on your age. So there's an opportunity there to put back a whole lot more money that is tax deferred. And so you get a reduction right off your wages in box 1 on your W-2. It does not reduce your Social Security and Medicare wages, and generally does not reduce your local wages either. So those are something that you would still continue to pay, but it does give you an opportunity to put back a lot of money for your retirement. And one of the things also is that even though these plans are under an umbrella of how they're going to work, each plan will be customized for itself. And so it may, and I'm thinking more to your chamber members, you may run across a participant that has not done a whole lot of planning for their retirement, and they're in their 50s, and they're like, I need to put back a lot of money fast, and they're in a profitable business. There are ways to customize plans that will allow them to do that. So those are things that we would work with the TPA on, and work with their tax advisor to make sure that this is a good fit for them on how to administer that plan and how that plan may be laid out. It's an opportunity to customize the plan, as I said. Investment choices, we're going to provide a broad investment choice opportunity. And one of the things that we want to talk about on that real quick, let me pull up a piece of my information here, is Morningstar is a fund rating service. Morningstar will help us choose what the investment lineup is going to look like. Of course, we're looking for things that have performed well in the past, things that operate at a lower cost, again, trying to keep that cost savings down. And we're also looking at things that will allow individuals to have what's called a target dated fund. Sometimes it's called a qualified investment default alternative, QDIA. And so what you're going to have the opportunity where they can default to whatever their age is based on their nearest date to 65 in 5-year increments. So they would have plenty of opportunities, plenty of good choices to choose from. And again, you can default, or we can help put together those kind of what the choice offerings would look like, and then help some of the employees make some of those decisions also. It's also an opportunity to pass the investment and the administrative fiduciary obligations to professionals who do it every day. That is one thing. Even though you're passing off the different types of fiduciary risk, the overall risk remains with the plan sponsor. However, you're employing folks who do that for a living to make sure that you're qualified and taken care of on that. Morningstar, as I said, will handle the investment fiduciary services, and the TPA handles the administrative piece of it. So again, you're employing people that have done this for a while, do it every day, and that's how they make their living. So as we've talked about this over the last few months, a couple of questions have arisen in our discussions with other chambers that, let me just run these by you. And you may have other questions. I see there's some things in the chat, so maybe there's some questions that are there. But if and again, this is working as if a chamber is presenting this to a local employer. So, but you guys would be members under the KCCE plan. So what if a chamber member participates in a MEAP 401k and then in a couple of years, they're no longer a chamber member? Can they still stay in the MEAP? So the MEAP is only for chamber members. So if an executive were to leave, they would not be able to stay in the KCCE MEAP. They would have to roll theirs out. And if for your member employers, if that member no longer was a chamber member, then they would no longer be allowed to stay in the MEAP. So the employer, they can keep the 401k plan, but they're no longer going to receive the benefits of the discounts and the reduced fees. And they would have to negotiate back with Lincoln, the advisor, and TPA what those costs would look like. And generally, as I said, it would be somewhere between 0.8 and a point higher than what they're paying as a chamber member. So in a lot of instances, the savings on their 401k plan will pay for their chamber membership. So that's always a good selling point. Another question that's been raised is, are there employee number minimums and maximums? And no, there's really not. Each plan can be a standalone opportunity for employers if they just have one employee or if they have 1,000 or more. Okay, so it's going to depend. As a solo 401k, there's some options there that come into play. And if you have a larger base, a larger employer that wants to begin this for their employees, then there are opportunities there to be able to do that. But there is really not a limit on what they can number that will cap out on it. And another question that had arisen previously is, what if a chamber has, or an employer has multiple locations, one within your chamber jurisdiction and one that may be out of state even? Can they still participate? And as long as they're a chamber member within your local area, then they can participate. So again, that's it down at your individual chamber level, whereas the executives on the call, you will participate in the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Executives Plan. So there's a little bit of a difference there. There are some tax credits that are available also. So you'd want to talk to your employers would want to talk to their income tax preparer about finding some of those tax credits that might be available because of small employers, automatic enrollment. There's a couple of other things also that their employer should talk to their preparer about. And if they have questions, I can probably give them some guidance on that also, but not providing tax preparation advice. And Amy, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you and I talked about the chamber executive organization. They'll get a little bit of a program service fee returned to them from Lincoln. I mean, so there is an opportunity for them to make some revenue also. And I think the plan there is to put that into a scholarship fund.
Yes, but that the money that KCCE would have profited off of being the main company, we are putting into our scholarship fund. Yes.
So again, as KCCE does their plan, they're still furthering their mission through education because of the monies that they're going to receive back from Lincoln. So I mean, so again, it's kind of a win-win for your community. And you can do the same thing at your local chamber, because you'll get a program service fee return also. And if you wanted to create a scholarship, I think that's a great idea. Some way to fund that, and whatever criteria you would come up with for that. Maybe that's the main things. What questions do we have at this point in time?
Well, I've answered a few of them. Does anybody else have questions for Randy right now? It's a lot to take in. I understand that.
It really is.
It is a lot to take in. And I know that people want to make sure that they're well versed in what they're doing, but at the same time, get questions answered before they start sharing it with their membership. So if you guys have questions, let me know. If not, we will put up Randy's information at the end, and you'll be able to contact him directly. You'll get more information from me as well. So that'll be a great resource. And as KCCE works through it, I hope you all understand we're trying to get it where it's offered as a 401k to our members. So that's you all. We're trying to get a program going with Randy that your chamber board can decide if they would like to be a part of the program and be able to invest and match whatever an employee at your local chamber can do. So this program that Randy's talking about is how you all can help your local businesses. I just wanted to be known that right now, Randy and I are currently working on a program that's going to be for you that comes from KCCE. So that's where this whole conversation got started. I know that I was sitting in a meeting at the Hopkins County Regional Chamber earlier this year. Randy was their guest speaker. I sat right next to him, and it just so happens he was talking about this program that Libby was putting forth at the Hopkins County Regional Chamber. And I looked at him and I interrupted his presentation. And I said, "Can I do that for my local chamber professionals?" And he said, "Absolutely." So thanks, Libby, for that. And if you all want to know kind of the process of what a local chamber goes through, Libby has gone through it. I mean, she is at the other end of this. And is she currently offering it, or have you all made that go live with the Hopkins County Chamber, Randy?
The chamber employees are in the midst of beginning their plan now. We're in the middle of the paperwork and all that fun stuff. And then we're marketing it to the chamber members at this point in time. So we have some folks that are, some chamber members locally that have expressed some interest. So we're in the process of talking and working with them to figure out what next steps would be.
Okay, so are chamber members in Hopkins County on a MEAP yet or not? That's just still in the works.
That is still in the work. Well, the
Okay.
plan is available, but no one has officially signed the dotted line to be the first one to do it. But we've got 3 or 4 folks that we think are about ready to do so.
Awesome. Great. Okay. So that's kind of our beta test right there. Is Hopkins County Regional Chamber has made it to the other side of the paperwork and is making that opportunity available to their membership currently. So Libby Spencer, she's on this call. I'm putting it out there for you, Libby, at the Hopkins County Regional Chamber of Commerce is someone you can reach out to get kind of behind the scenes of, number one, what it's like to work with Randy. I can say he's wonderful, but what it's like to work with Randy and his group, and also what steps it took and what it meant for the chamber to walk through this process so far. So make sure that you all reach out to Libby as well. And also, like I said before, I'll repeat myself, KCC is working on it for you all. So hopefully in the next couple of months before the beginning of 2022, that opportunity will be made available to your board of directors to decide if they would like to be a part of our group and be able to offer you all a 401k program. It doesn't look like we have any more questions. Does anybody else, before I close down the Q&A, Libby just put in the chat box her contact information, if you all can see that, her telephone number and her email address. If you all would like to reach out to her, if you don't get that or you're in the car listening, you could always contact me for her information. And I will also, Randy, you want me to share your contact info?
Please.
Okay. If you all need to reach Randy, this is his contact information. I wanted to include this slide as well, so it's on the recording of this session, so folks can have it who see this recording at a later date. It's just another way for me and KCCE to offer you all another benefit, but in the same sense for local chambers to be offering yet another kind of outside of the box benefit to your members that they either want and can't get because they're too small, or they haven't thought about that because they might be a small business owner and just always thought that was just out of the realm of possibility. And also it's a retention piece. Just like our Anthem program and Clear Path program with the Kentucky Chamber, you have to stay a member of the local chamber in order to continue the services such as this. So we're hoping this just adds another layer of retention for you all and your membership.
An article I was reading earlier today talked about how 41% of the people said they think it's going to take a miracle for them to be prepared for retirement. And that article further went on to talk about one of the things I mentioned a while ago was a tax credit for automatic enrollment. And for those that are automatically enrolled, 97% said they probably would not have signed. 97% of under 35-year-olds said they probably would not have signed up without the automatic enrollment. And those above 35, it was something like 70%. So, I mean,
Gotcha.
so that's a great feature also. to be able
Right.
to have that. And then also for your employers to be able to, for the taxable employers to maybe get a little bit of a tax break on that. But also, again, it's, as you just said a while ago, providing that opportunity, and you make it easy. You know, it comes out of their paycheck before they even see it. It just makes it works a lot better that way than saying, oh, I've got to go write that check to make a contribution to my IRA or whatever. If you never see it, you won't miss it.
Right. And I come from many years of nonprofit work. I've been in the local chamber world for a long time. And most of those years, I did not have a 401k, and I'm not young. I'm fortunate to have a 401k now and been able to be aggressive with it. But this opportunity for your members who think that there's no hope, and for our local chamber professionals who think, gosh, that's just part of the business, that's something you've had to give up and do on your own. This might be an opportunity. You could still continue doing what you do on your own, but this could be just an additional cushion for when we want to say goodbye to the chamber world, and to retire, to feel like we can afford our lifestyle after that. So 401ks are great. I love them. It's worth it. Pay into it. You don't miss it. It's out of your paycheck before the paycheck even hits the bank. And this is a great way for you to offer that to your smallest of members, as well as looking forward to what KCC has to offer you guys. I guess if nothing else, Randy, I certainly appreciate you joining us. Hopefully we've given you all a little bit of information to get you excited about this program and to ask more questions as you mull over it, think about it, talk about it with staff, with your board, with members of your chamber, to see if this is something that would be feasible and viable in your community. Also, we've only taken up 30 minutes of your time, so you still have some of your lunchtime left. So I hope you enjoy that as well. We will be hosting another Lunch and Learn in December. We are working on a couple of presenters, and we'll get that short up soon. So we'll get information to you all about our December, not December. I'm already thinking it's Christmas, November, our November Lunch and Learn. We'll probably have one in December too, but gosh, somebody told me how many days it was till Christmas, and I just about fell over. So December will be here before you know it. Anyway,
One other thing real quick, Amy.
Yes,
Say one
please.
other thing. You know, even though I'm in Western Kentucky, I mean, I travel a lot, so that's not a problem. If I need to come see someone, that's not a problem. And with technology nowadays, I mean, it doesn't, you know, it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Awesome. Yeah. So be thinking about that too. If it's something y'all are interested in, you could Zoom Randy in for a board meeting or a special called meeting for if you have an HR committee, or if you have an executive committee that would like to hear more information, make sure you reach out to Randy and get started that way. So without further ado, the recording will be available this afternoon on YouTube. I will send out the, excuse me, the flyer. Goodness, the flyer that Randy had up on the screen earlier to all the participants. And if you'll have any more questions about it, reach out to Randy or myself, and we will help get those questions answered. Thanks, Randy. We appreciate it so much for joining us today. Thank you. Thank you. And for all of you all that have joined us, we appreciate your participation in our Lunch and Learn, and we will see you guys next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.